Hi, I'm Chris Austin from the Internet Consultancy, and this is the second in a series of videos on trying to get to the top of Google. In this one I will be talking to you about the description of your web page. Hopefully you will have seen the first of the series about your page title, so I will go a little more quickly this time. The reason why the description is important to you is that if you understand what your description does, as well as what your title does, then you're well on the way to getting to the top of Google's natural results. So, what is the description of a page? In this screen I have already Googled plumber Bury St Edmunds, and it is already showing the Google results. Let's have a look at A&C Plumbing. The text below the title is a description, as shown here. Above the description, here, is the title, which is as important as the description, and which I covered in a previous video. The description tells both Google and your potential visitor what your page is about in more detail. The title gives you only 60 characters, whereas the description gives you about 150. Between them, the description and the title have to convince the reader that it will be worth their time to visit your web page. It is no wonder that these two things are so important. How you create your description is technical. If you are a developer, you ought to know about description meta tags, so I won't go into them here. If you are a customer of a website developer, you need to know that the description exists, so that you can communicate effectively with your developer. By way of preparation, I had a look at the stuff that goes to make up a web page, and it is shown in another tab of my browser, here. If you are non-technical, don't worry. All you have to do is to know that this stuff exists. I'll highlight the small part that is of interest just here. Notice that it starts with plumbers and carpenters for plumbing and heating, etc. This is the bit that creates the description and is shown as 150 characters in the Google results page over here. At least, that is the theory, but this example is living proof of the fact that what we think Google does and what it actually does are two different things. Notice that what it actually says is A&C Plumbing Solutions of Bury St Edmunds, etc. So where did this description text come from? Let's have a look at the page as it is displayed here. We can see in the opening paragraph here that this text is the same as the description text in the Google results here. And in fact, there is nothing on the rest of the page that looks anything like the coded description here. A while back we used to stuff unrelated keywords into the coding of our pages, hoping to be able to get them higher up the rankings. But Google learned that it could tell more from the content than it could from this garbage, literally called keyword stuffing. And these days Google ignores the coded keywords. It is now apparent that Google is doing the same for page descriptions that are irrelevant, and what it is doing is using the opening text as the page description. And if this is not what you want to have, then you have only one choice: fix the text. What we learn is that we have to think very carefully about the opening text on our pages, and this will be the subject of a later video. By now you will have gathered that the description and the title should have your key search terms included in them, and you also see that these should be reflected in the opening text of the page. So make sure that every page of your website has a relevant description, and by definition it would be different for each page unless you want Google to guess it for you. What if you don't use a description? We now know that Google will guess one for you, and that it probably will not be what you would have wanted. What if you use more than 150 characters in the description? Well, they'll be largely wasted because people like me don't get to seeing them. We can see that Google takes more notice of the opening text than it does of the description, so you really are addressing your potential visitors here, as well as Google. And what if you compose your description with great care and attention? The fact that your description and your opening text tally with one another to a great degree will help Google understand what your page is about, which naturally will help you get to the top of Google. And your visitors will see what you're about, and so they can make informed decisions about visiting your page. Having spent so much time, money and effort on creating your website, surely it deserves this attention to detail. What we have learnt is that what looks like a minor afterthought, like how do we get this page to the top of Google, becomes a big issue because it involves the opening paragraph of your page, and hence it involves the whole of the rest of the page as well. By design, A&C Plumbing wanted one description here. But by luck, I assume, their opening paragraph here just happened to include the term Bury St Edmunds, so they featured in the search results. Had they changed that paragraph, they might not have featured, and they wouldn't have been such a wonderful example. The next video shows you how you can research suitable keywords for your pages, so that they have a hope of being found and then selected through the titles and descriptions.